Does anybody know what's empty nest syndrome? What does it mean?
Emptiness. What does it? Emptiness also means what? Loneliness or what?
Empty nest. This is
Nest.
empty nest syndrome. So the nest becomes empty. What does it mean?
It's when your children leave
Nothing
and you are alone.
There is
Exactly.
nothing.
That's what I
When
said. No loneliness.
Yeah, loneliness when you're children. So okay, the backstory of this is I mostly give you the backstory. Why did I choose the topic? So just few days back, I have a son. His name is Karan. He got into IIT Assam, Guwahati. So just
congratulations!
Thank you so much.
Congrats.
So just thank you. Few days back, we just dropped him there and came back. And not just few days, but past few months, like from the day, we came to know that he has to go. We've been preparing mentally, physically for him to go. And so I've been contemplating on this thing, the emptiness syndrome, since quite some time, actually. So why do we feel the way we feel when the children, move away? And how to tackle with the emptiness that arises out of it. So if you allow me
one thing I can say, we can join TAARE Social and be out of that emptiness.
For sure. I mean, it is one of the I've actually written down the symptoms and the remedies, or the it is one of the
make
helpful
more friends. If like I'm fond of singing, I had joined singing classes, along with other friends and teaching each other. So that way you come out of it. Keep yourself busy. Main funda is to keep yourself busy.
Exactly. This is what even I'm doing. I'm keeping myself busier than I was. So hoping and thinking that drowning myself in activities would take away the pain or would fill the emptiness. Even if it doesn't, you're right that it does fill your day and it keeps you busy, basically. So you're very right. So there's this beautiful poem by Harivansh Rai Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan's dad, in Hindi. So do you want to listen to it? It's very beautiful.
Why not?
Poem. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, and I'll explain you the meaning along with it. Okay. So the poem goes like this. "Maa kya mujhko udna aaya." Okay. So the poetry says, "छोड़ घोंसला बाहर आया, देखी डाले देखे पात, और सुनी जो पत्ते हिलमिल करते हैं आपस में बात। माँ क्या मुझको उड़ना आया, नहीं चुरुंगन तू भरमाया." Churugan is basically the small kid, the small kid, the sparrow, the churugan. डाली से डाली पर पहुंचा, देखी कलियां देखे फूल, ऊपर उठकर फुनगी जानी, नीचे झुककर जाना मूल. That is the root. Fungi is the branch. माँ क्या मुझको उड़ना आया. Again the kid would ask the mother, माँ क्या मुझको उड़ना आया. The mother says, नहीं चुरुंगन तू भरमाया. Bharmaya is disillusion, basically.
You just thought about it.
You're disillusioned. You still don't know how to fly. Then he goes on to say, कच्चे पक्के फल पहचाने, खाए और गिराए काट, खाने गाने के सब साथी देख रहे हैं मेरी बाट. So my friends are waiting for me. Okay, now that I know what fruits to pick and what not to pick. So have I become mature? And then he would go on and ask, "माँ क्या मुझको उड़ना आया?" Again the mother says, "नहीं चुरुगन तू भरमाया." You still disillusioned. And the last paragraph goes like this. This is very meaningful. मैं नीले अज्ञात गगन की, the sky. मैं नीले अज्ञात गगन की, सुनता हूँ अनिवार्य पुकार. The sky keeps calling me. कोई अंदर से कहता है, उड़ जा जा पर मार. पर is your wings. Okay, तो कोई अंदर से कहता है, उड़ जा और जा पर मार. Spread your wings and fly away. So now the kid asks the mother, माँ क्या मुझको उड़ना आया? तो माँ ने कहा, आज सफल है तेरे डेरे, आज सफल है तेरी काया, जा चुरुंगन तुझको उड़ना आया. And the bird spreads the wing and flies away in the sky. So basically, essentially, what this poem says is, anybody who's got wings is bound to
Fly.
Here to the fly.
Fly.
So see the difference. I was just wondering the difference between animal kingdom. Actually, we belong to the animal kingdom. But if you see the birds, okay, have you seen how a bird would make a nest? Very
Yeah,
beautiful, very
one they pick up everything.
yeah, very
One
painstaking
month
process.
straw, 1 month straw.
Exactly, one straw and the broomstick and the jute and the cotton. So how diligently they would pick up stuff, okay, make the nest as comfortable.
Very interesting. Small
So,
पत्ते
छोटे and वो मतलब बहुत महीनों से वो planning मतलब वो शुरू हो जाता है उनका to collect those things and make a nest which is as comfortable as possible, right, for the kid. Now, so they give birth, okay, they hatch the kid. I mean, the bird comes out of the egg. What happens is they do not claim, okay, that now that I have worked so hard for you to provide this nest, I've picked up the straws, I've picked up and made a nest for you, you should not fly away. Does it happen?
No.
It does.
No.
It doesn't happen, right?
No.
It doesn't happen. As soon as the mother bird sees the baby bird ready, okay, fit enough to fly, they would actually urge them.
They teach them.
They teach them.
Yeah,
You just fly.
Teach them. Yeah.
They just small babies. They fall even when they pick up.
So basically, they don't consider it as an investment of their time and effort so that they would reap the benefits in the future. It's not seen as an investment of sorts, basically, It's seen as a motherly duty. I wouldn't even call it duty, but a motherly love that you would have for your child, that you would want to build a comfortable nest. Let the baby be comfortable. And when the baby is fit and strong to fly away, let the baby fly away. Okay, they take it this way. But we humans, unfortunately, think that our children are born to us, not through us. There's a difference. Yeah, our children are born through us. They chose us. They chose Shirin ma'am or Shana ma'am or Jane ma'am or Asha ma'am for that matter as a medium. Okay, we were chosen as a medium. We are not the owners, right? Are we? We are not the owners. We aren't, right? We're just the trustees, basically. You know, right? What a trustee is. Take care.
Yes.
They are entrusted. They are entrusted, to us. Right? We just have to take care and just be a facilitator, if that's the word. A facilitator is one who, provides all the facilities so that the other person can grow. That's what it is. But what happens is we are very different. We actually pride ourselves that we are very superior to the animal kingdom and the bird kingdom and so on and so forth. We are far superior. We all feel, right? Rather, we all also claim that, we are far superior to the animal kingdom and far superior because we have...
That's the only way, because we can speak. That's why we are little superior than. Otherwise, I think they are more superior than us in many ways.
No, but we can think and reason out.
Yeah,
we
can even speak out. Even they think. It's not that they don't think. You go to meet them, they fly off immediately because they know that something is coming up. But they can't speak. That's the only main thing.
That is,
that is are functioning.
I would disagree. I would even disagree. Yeah. I would disagree with Asha ma'am even on that they can't speak. They do speak with each other. They have calls, they have their own songs, but we do not understand. It's like if I'm not a South Indian or a Malayali, if somebody speaks in Malayalam, I would all it would sound to me is the different sounds, collection of sounds, but I wouldn't be able to understand the meaning. So they do speak to each other. My point here being is, despite of calling ourselves superior, the approach to parenthood is far less inferior. Because if you observe around, most of us, that includes me, you, most of us have the tendency to think that we are the ones who would decide the the course of action for our children. Most of us think that since they are our children, we are the parents, we would decide or we would enable them to decide the course of action. And forgetting that every soul has an independent journey. Every soul. It could see they are born as a children. I mean, this in human form, they are related to you as your children. Yeah, but does it mean that we are the ones who would actually decide the course of action?
No.
No, we decide.
But
No.
see, the problem happens that so you have different cultures looking at parenthood in different ways. For example, in the West, okay, as soon as the child grows 18, they would want the child to leave the house and start his own journey or her own journey. They think that this would make them independent. It is their approach, right? On the opposite hand,
Some
yeah.
children are very dependent on the parents.
Yeah, on the other hand, our culture is promotes that the children should be with the parents as long as possible.
More on the parents.
Yeah, so they should be living with the parents and taking care of them, and so that's another approach.
So they
I
don't
feel
have the ability of
Yeah.
fighting with their life. They want somebody to be near
I'm
them.
sorry, I had to attend to a call.
no problem, ma'am. So yeah, so basically these two approaches are, I would say, extreme, in a way. If you see, in the West, they would let the child sleep by himself or herself. The small child is sleeping in the cot in the room, and they have the camera watching the child. Okay. And we prefer cuddling. We prefer that the child should be as near to mother as possible. So these are different approaches to parenthood. Okay. But again, so what goes missing when the child leaves the nest? Okay, what happens that despite of all the gyan and knowledge that we have, when the child leaves? Okay, so I'll share this very interesting thought basically. So how self-centered are we? I'll just share it with you through my thought process. Okay, so when Karan left, okay, I just thought for a second that, oh, I wish I had another child, I wish I had gone for the second one, right?
Yeah.
So if I had the second child, I would be busy with the second child and would not feel the pain so much. And at the same time, while Karan was growing up, I thought that I don't want a second child because I don't again want to go through the troubles and the pain of raising a child. This is how our human mind thinks, the vantage point, differs, because तभी था कि मुझे troubles नहीं चाहिए, और अभी है कि अरे काश और एक लड़का या लड़की या कुछ भी होता. Yeah, and that is when I realized how dependent are we. That is when it actually struck me that despite of it being our family, how dependent are we? Is it all right to be so dependent emotionally and otherwise? Yeah, I was just thinking, is it all right to be so dependent on anybody for that matter? Forget about your children, even if it's your spouse, because nobody's going to live forever, right? And nobody's going to live with you forever. Your spouse might pass away, your children would leave you. So that is, when it got me thinking that how should we deal with it, and what are the different, how would I put it? Different coping mechanisms that we can use. Like, what are the different coping mechanisms that a person can actually use or start practicing, which would, I wouldn't say take away the vacuum, but will help you, as Asha mentioned, would help you to deal with the vacuum. So basically, what is emptiness syndrome when your children, I said, leave? What are the symptoms, do you think? What are the symptoms that one feels? You all can share if you have your children abroad or somewhere else. What are the symptoms that we feel when the children leave us?
When our children leave us, I always wish them the best of luck. Let them be on their own feet. Let them understand the new atmosphere where they are going to, because here they are all the time, protected, safeguarded with us. When they go out, they, look at the new atmosphere, new place, and they try to explore. And maybe they become better than what they were here. Please, I found
Okay.
that. Yeah.
That is related to the child, right? That is
Yeah.
your, but what happens to you? What are the symptoms that you
Like
experienced
for
or
me, it happened, my daughters got married and I also lost my husband. I was absolutely, broken down. Then I told you that I joined my singing class. Then also I started teaching small children, what you call these, my ayah's children, and I started teaching them, the thing, used to give them tuitions and all free of charge, because not the money that I wanted, it's the, time which I wanted to spend.
Yeah.
And being with them, and most of the time when the children were, it made me remind that I'm sitting with my children. I used to go to laughing club, laugh aloud over there, made friends there. After laughing club, we used to go to walking. So morning from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I'm there only in Joggers Park and laughing club. You know,
Wow.
the 3 hours that you're out, you're so satisfied that when you come back home, then since I had to do all the work, from bank work to put petrol in the car, to look after the servants, and then also I was also the secretary of the building, so look after the building. So the time passes like anything. And when I get up so early in the morning at about 5:30, by 3 o'clock, I am off to bed for afternoon nap. And I get up at
Wow.
5 o'clock for this class again. So the whole day passes.
Lovely.
Busy.
Lovely. So yeah, so basically the crux here is what Asha ma'am shared is to keep
To
yourself
busy.
occupied. Yeah. And
Keep
in a
yourself
productive. So you can keep yourself busy doing a lot of harmful
other things
stuff.
also.
Yeah. Emotionally harmful and physically harmful stuff. You know, when
Yeah.
you are lonely, one tends to get very addictive by nature, as in you get addicted to things, or maybe TV, or maybe social media, or maybe, you know, dependent on some other people in a harmful way, as in it does not help you. Okay, rather than it helping you, it actually harms you. For example, so by not having your children to be dependent on you, you kind of find a friend you get too much dependent on. That's again harmful, right? See, the whole point is not getting dependent. It could be your child, it could be your friend. uh, Coexisting together, sharing stuff, you know, helping each other grow is very beautiful. But then the moment you get dependent on somebody, I don't know what it is, but the other person gets a whiff of it. Somehow they smell it if you're desperate. And that the smell of desperation makes the other person all the more powerful. And the person, we are humans, then tends to get manipulative in whatever way. And it is with all of us, right? Once we know that the other person is dependent on me, if I know that my husband is dependent on me, cannot do without me, okay, in some other way, I you know, I have this powerful position to exercise, right? And then, you know, when when there is power, there doesn't come responsibility. You know what comes? Manipulation. When there is so much of power, what do you think comes along with it? Manipulation rather than
Please
responsibility.
mute before talking to someone. We are listening to a very nice conversation.
Yeah.
Here we are getting
somebody,
disturbed.
yeah, could somebody mute, because we are getting disturbed. Yeah. Thank you. So what happens is, with great power comes great responsibility. It was a dialogue in Spider-Man, but it doesn't happen in real life. With great power, if you see around, comes great manipulation. So you should never ever empower somebody to the extent that the other person feels that you cannot do without them. It's very, 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 very important for us, all of us. You be dependent. You know, I mean, see, being dependent, codependent is not bad. Okay, and you can only be dependent on somebody, or you can only depend on somebody who's independent. Are you getting? I can't depend on Shama ma'am if she is not independent, because if she is dependent herself, how will I depend on her? So for anybody to depend on you, or for you to depend on anybody, first the person has to be independent. So my point is, I'm not talking about being independent as in, you know, you stop calling people and you don't need people and you don't need stuff. No, aisa nahi hai. We will always need people because we are social beings. We'll always need material stuff because we live in this material world. My point is,
one is strong enough to face things.
Yeah. One is, yeah, strong enough and independent enough. Matlab, as Asha ma'am said, if you have your own routine, okay, you know, you have your own routine to fall back on. right? You know that you can derive the satisfaction and the high from singing, from dancing, from reading a book, from walking in a park, from social networking like you're doing here. You have your avenues. Okay? ऐसा नहीं है कि किसी को मतलब रोज फोन करना पड़े कि वो शिट यार है, मेरा टाइम पास ही नहीं हो रहा है, प्लीज मेरे घर पे आ जाओ. इट कुड बी योर फ्रेंड, कुड बी योर रिलेटिव. 4 दिन आएंगे, उसको समझ में आ जाएगा दैट यू नीड देम. You know what, the 5th day, what will they do? Sorry, I'm busy today, I won't be able to make it. That is when you get sad. That is when you feel very bad. And that is when you start disliking the same person. जिसको आप बहुत अच्छा लगते थे वो dislike करने लगोगे. क्योंकि see, the whole point is the source, I feel, the source of satisfaction, the source of validation, the source of life should be within you. Source यहाँ पे ही होना चाहिए. You can be with people and it's a good thing to be with people, but source ना outsource मत कर दो. जैसे US ने पूरा चाइना को outsource कर दिया ना, all manufacturing. Now the US is suffering because the US has already outsourced the manufacturing. Now China is tweaking and twisting क्योंकि उसको पता है कि मेरे बिना तो कुछ नहीं चलने वाला है. Same is the case if emotionally भी आप outsource कर दो किसी को. मैंने पूरा outsource कर दिया आशा मैम को, मतलब आशा मैम है तो मैं हूँ. आशा मैम अगर मुझे हंसाएंगे तो मैं हंस सकूंगी. Only if Karan is there with me will I be happy. No, it's not going to work out that way. My son has left for his own future. He is a part of me, but that part has to become a whole, right? I am a whole. That part of me is a whole basically and has his own journey. Tomorrow he might not come back. After 4 years, he might get a job somewhere else. There are people who would, keep telling me that, oh God, you just have one son and then the son might leave for a job in a foreign country and then you would be all by yourself. Okay. And then what will you do? So I always joke around. I'll brush my teeth every day as I do. I will have my tea every day. I'll have my lunch and dinner every day. We are going to, do those things. Do you know how many hours do we spend in those daily chores? बहुत time जाता है. ब्रश करने में, चाय बनाने में, लंच बनाने में, डिनर बनाने में. वो तो दुनिया में कहीं पे भी रहो और किसी के बिना भी रहो तो वो तो करना ही है. तो वो तो दिन के 3-4 घंटे तो वैसे ही निकल गए. 8 घंटे हम सोते हैं, 7 घंटे सोते हैं, चलो 6 घंटे भी मान लो, 6 + 3 9 आवर्स तो ऐसे ही निकल गए. फिर टीवी होगा, फिर आपके शोज होंगे, फ्रेंड्स होंगे. तो आई ऑलवेज जोक अराउंड दैट आई विल हैव माय लंच, आई विल हैव माय डिनर, आई विल ब्रश माय टी आफ्टर माय सन लीव्स, व्हिच आई यूज्ड टू डू बिफोर. My point being that, see, it's not easy. Okay, it's not that I don't cry. It's the reason I chose this topic is because it is painful, right? When I talk to him, they have common washrooms, okay, and they have common washing machine and a very small tiny room. The campus is very beautiful, but the rooms are so tiny that you cannot open the wardrobe. And I was like, how will you cope up with this? How will you cope up with the common washroom, basically, if nothing else? And he was like, Mama, I'm not here for the washrooms. I'm here for the studies. Yeah. So basically, being a mother, I was more bothered about the frills. I was not looking at the purpose. I was just looking at कि छोटा room है, washroom common है. एक mom कैसे देखती है ना, washing machine का turn कब आएगा तेरा. तो then I thought कि वो यहाँ पे ये सब करने के लिए नहीं आया है, पढ़ने के लिए आया है. तो let him study and we'll figure out.
Ma'am, which place is from?
He went to IIT Guwahati, Assam. He went to Assam. Yeah. So it's a very beautiful place, Assam mein. And so basically, not to talk about my son and my journey, but the thing is that being mothers, we focus when your children are abroad, if they don't call you up every day, or maybe, you are like, oh, he's like, मुझे भूल गया या मुझे भूल गई. ऐसे होता है. Actually, क्या होता है? Assam is in northeast. After, so it West Bengal, Calcutta के से 1 or 2 hours का जो है, whatever.
But what line he has taken up?
He's taken design, a bachelor's in design, BDes है, for 4 years. Yeah, this is the first year. So the coming next 4 years, yeah, we'll be revisiting the topic also, that whatever I'm talking, am I able to implement myself, or I'm just वो बोले ज्ञान बांटना तो कितना easy हो जाता है. So I will definitely follow up on this, that मैं क्या implement कर रही हूँ and क्या कर. So there were few remedies, we just have Saleh reminded 10 minutes. Oh God, time flies. So how would one deal with it? So there are reminding oneself, okay, this is very important. Allow yourself to feel the emotions. Okay, unnecessarily strong banna bhi zaruri nahi hai. Yeah, people keep saying that, be strong, be strong. See, strength does not mean that you cannot cry. Strength does not mean that you cannot talk about how you miss your child, or how painful it is. Strength is, okay, you can be vulnerable when you want to, and accepting that, okay, I'm vulnerable right now, but I'm going to get out of it. I'm not going to be stuck. प्रॉब्लम कहाँ होता है? प्रॉब्लम होता है हम लोग स्टक हो जाते हैं पास्ट में. हम लोग जब साथ में थे तो बहुत मजा आता था. द फैक्ट कुड बी जब साथ में थे तो हम लोग झगड़ते थे. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि जब साथ में होते ऑल रोजी रोजी होता है, बट ऐसा होता है ऑलवेज हाइंडसाइट, बोलते हैं ना, रेट्रोस्पेक्ट में सब कुछ बहुत ब्यूटीफुल लगता है. When people pass away or people go away, they become all the more beautiful than they are. When they are near you, they are not as beautiful as they would seem in their absence. Yeah, it's true for all of us. When you talk about somebody who's away from you, the person actually becomes, you're ready to forgive so many things about that person.
As we say, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, unfortunately. But when the person is present, we are not ready to forgive the smallest mistake that the person makes. So presence
so happens that when you start living alone, and you're so used to this being quiet
space.
And enjoying the space here, when someone comes, even your own children, you feel when they're going to go away.
True.
It is so sad, because you want to be alone and you want to be that same quiet. Children come, they'll make noise and all. It again irritates you. But then you have to adjust. Main thing is adjustment. You have to adjust yourself, to the environment that they are creating at that moment.
You're so right. A friend of mine has a husband in Merchant Navy. Okay. Yeah. And he's into Merchant Navy since past a decade or more. Okay. And she tells me this. I'm not going to name her. She tells me this, that, Tejal, I wait for him to come home. Okay. I just wait for him. But when he comes home, I'm so used to, she and her son, they live together. I'm so used to not having him that, as you said, when he comes, okay, वो bedroom ले लेता है. फिर he has a different way of living, and we are like, यार ये क्या कर रहा है, and then he should go. And she's like, deep down I'm like, wanting him. So but you know what, the problem is that we are not allowed to express such emotions. It's not that you stop liking somebody if you wish the person to go up. ऐसा नहीं होता है.
नहीं.
These are the matters of habit. Yeah.
It's just, now you're used to this type of life,
Exactly.
That's the whole thing.
Doesn't mean that you stop. Yeah. Doesn't mean that you stop.
Again, I said adjustment is the main thing, we have to now learn the new thing of that is adjustment in your own house.
And the problem is when you live by yourself or when you live without others, you tend to become a little rigid in your ways, वो एक problem हो जाता है जो हमको break करना पड़ता है, क्योंकि क्या होता है that you're so used to having your own way कि अगर बुक यहाँ पे रखी है तो बुक यहाँ पे ही होनी चाहिए. Kind of वो rigidity आ जाती है slowly and steadily. तो वो हमको consciously break करना है. You should always actually call people in your home, could be your friends, could be your relatives, to
My
break
friends
that
keep coming. We have kitty parties and all, we keep coming.
Get used to people messing your house. We all have to get used to people messing our house, because living by yourself, you have things your way. है ना, कि मुझे आदत है कि बुक यहाँ पे होती है, मेरा ये यहाँ पे होता है. तो what, to break that habit, call people over, let them mess, and be okay with the mess, which is very difficult, I know, but let children come over. If you have children in your society, let them come over.
No, my grandchildren and all, they come and all that, but I only tell them, don't pick any, because I've got glass all over. So I don't tell them pick up and throw and all that. That lesson I have to teach them for a
not
then they understand.
grandchildren. फिर भी हम लोग होता है children which are not who are not related to us, उनको आने दो कभी घर पे, and you just sit back and just watch yourself. How comfortable are you dealing with them? Are you comfortable अगर वो लोग यहाँ से sweets
I'm very
लेके
comfortable. I
यहाँ पे
take them down. I take them to joggers, play with them. I go down and even do catching, cook and all that I do with them. But I also enjoy because that becomes a separate life, which I otherwise don't do it, you know. That I do, but you know, still like, you know, मेरे ऐसा लगता है कि कोई मेरा, because there are one things which I've, you know, been every time abroad so many times, bought so just lovely things, you know, if it breaks, then you know, actually it's nothing, but your heart goes, you know, because with so much carefulness you have bought, you know, catching in our own hand the glass materials and all that, you know, then you feel for it, you know.
That is where we need to see. That is where we need to train when we are by ourselves. That you know, things are temporary, right? Everything is temporary. Yeah,
the
warmth.
They're nothing great.
Everything.
We all know that everything will go away. You know, nothing stays with us. But
so
we want to, you know, still preserve them. You know.
Yeah, of course. But things are still replaceable. People aren't, right? You know, I mean, people are not easily replaceable. If you must have observed in your life that, you know, we feel, you know, when we are 19 and 20, we feel we'll have a lot of friends. When we are 16, बहुत सारे friends होंगे. As you grow 40 and 45, you realize that you narrow down to very few people, because very few people, you know, would have that kind of rapport where you're yourself. You don't want to waste energy in, you know, pleasing people. वो बहुत अभी हो गया, like, you know, वो नहीं करना है. Time waste ही नहीं करना है ना. मुझे प्लीज नहीं करना है, मतलब जिनका मेरे साथ रैपो है मैं उसमें इन्वेस्ट करूंगी, बट जिनका नहीं हो रहा है रैपो तो जाने दो. मेक सेंस ना, बिकॉज वी हैव लिमिटेड टाइम, लिमिटेड एफर्ट डालने हैं, तो फाइंड आउट पीपल हु आर वर्दी ऑफ इट, राइट? So yeah, and develop hobbies and passions. Very, very, very important coping mechanism is develop some kind of hobby, and could be anything. Could be just talking to people on the phone. That's also a hobby. We can't say that these hobbies are superior and these are not. ऐसा नहीं होता है. जो भी आपको खुश रखे, anything that keeps you, makes you happy. The word is खुश रखे. तो अगर गॉसिप करने में भी खुशी मिलती है, मतलब नॉट इन अ हार्मफुल वे, तो वो भी करो. सेलिब्रिटीज को देख के उनकी लाइफ को फॉलो करके खुशी मिलती है, व्हाई नॉट, राइट? अ बुक पढ़ के खुशी मिलती है, व्हाई नॉट? डू व्हाटएवर मेक्स यू हैप्पी. Gossiping in a healthy way. Healthy gossip भी होती है, like, you know, anyone should, yeah.
गपशप.
हम लोग सीखते कैसे? Through gossip, actually, through gupshup. Actually, gupshup is such an important tool, basically, to I'm not joking. We'll have a lecture on gupshup. How gossip is important but in a healthy way, in a productive way, not harming somebody's life.
Correct.
So
you learn a lot. You learn a lot when you are in with friends, you know.
Exactly.
Like, there are many places which we don't know where to go, but when we are in a group, I bought this from here, which I never knew it was bought from here. Then I go and explore myself. You get this here also, you know. So that's way you learn. You become more and more literate in what is happening around you also, you know.
Very important. That's the word. You become actually literate in a very practical sense of the word, you know. Literate, you know. And one should know what are the people who are you surrounded by, what's your neighborhood, grocery store कहाँ है, लोग कहाँ जाते हैं buy करने, तो ये सब तो gossip तो बहुत important है. It's a very, very important tool. One should be aware. If
you have 5 friends with so much knowledge and so much seeing in life, we come to know that one friend can always be your best friend. Not all will be your best friend. So we try to choose, as we grow older and older, we'd like to choose only 1, 2 instead of 5, 10. We come down, minimize to 1, 2. And we know that they will be perfectly all right, you know, for us, you know. We can put our hearts to, you know. That's the thing.
Have friends, have your hobbies, okay? Most importantly, move out of the house, okay? Move out of the house, which is very important. क्या हो जाता है? A lot of people after a certain age stop going down. I'm talking about if you're physically capable of going down, please do go down, even for a small walk. क्योंकि एक छोटा सा walk.
I'm blessed because I have Carter Road nearby. Just walk, just 2 minutes out, and Carter Road is there.
Whichever
when you're walking there, you don't need anybody. There's so much to see on Carter Road.
Yeah, good. You having Carter Road, but any kind of road would do. Any road you live on.
Even anyone can go to Joggers Park also. You can enjoy there. You know.
Yeah, go down, go. You know, क्या होता है? A change of environment changes your mood. Yeah, a change of environment changes your emotion, changes your mood and emotions. By the time you come back,
That's why it's important to go out also. Of supposing I'm staying in Bombay, it's better to go out some other place. Because when
change
you're
of
out of that place, you see different things, and from different things you learn so much different things also. You know.
yeah.
So it's
So,
important to move. It's important
Agar
to
for-
interact. It's important to also think where you're going is right or wrong. All the three
Right,
things
right.
are important.
And
Yeah.
and most importantly, memories are beautiful. You don't have to get stuck with it.
Mm.
Memories are beautiful, right? Memories are there for a reason. You go revisit your memory. जो आपको खुशी देना, वो memories revisit करो. Keep revisiting those memory which brings a smile on your face, which अंदर से आपको खुश करे. और जो memories hurtful है ना, उसको भूल जाओ. क्योंकि क्या होता है ना, if you stop revisiting those memories, they become weak. Scientifically they become weak. Okay, engrams करके एक word है, mental path होता है, impressions होती है brain में. If you stop visiting ना, याद ना करो ना, तो धीरे धीरे वो weak हो जाती है. तो don't go
जो
there.
चला गया उसे भूल जाओ. जो
Don't
चला
go there,
गया
yeah.
उसे भूल जा. That's the thing. That all these songs which are there created, it has some meaning in that. You know, I'll tell you.
True. और यादें रखो, मतलब memories रखो, revisit करो, smile आने दो. पर ऐसा नहीं कि उसमें stuck हो जाओ. You have to learn, you have to move on, right? So have memories, revisit the friends, be independent, figure out your hobbies, think about the what else? Channelize your emotions, as you said, to help yourself and others. Okay. एक last में, I think we have 1 or 2 minutes. If I think a minute or so. There is one defense mechanism called as sublimation. Okay, sublimation करके एक defense mechanism है. उसमें क्या होता है? For example, if a female, okay, cannot have a child, okay, she goes and works in an orphanage. Okay, she works in an orphanage or she becomes a teacher. Why? जो motherhood है ना, वो जरूरी नहीं है कि आपका बच्चा ही हो तो आप चैनलाइज कर सकते हो. आप दूसरों को भी, एज यू सेड ना, दूसरों को पढ़ा के मुझे बहुत खुशी मिलती है. सो यू कैन चैनलाइज योर एनर्जी इफ यू wish to. You can channelize your energy for something productive to help others. Okay, it is called as sublimation. There is a word for it. It's a very beautiful defense mechanism. कि अगर फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आपको सीनियर सिटीजन पसंद हो, ओके, मुझे बहुत पसंद है. I love to, because the experience, the wisdom, I'm very, very attracted to it. The wisdom and the experience. Okay. So I choose to be with you all. Okay. The reason being, I can share, I can actually dig into the experience and wisdom. That is my own. So I'm channelizing, right? I mean, so you can channelize. So that is what the whole emptiness syndrome was. Okay. Was it interesting?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very,
Okay. And then the next time, give me few months. Okay. And I will actually see wherever I fared well. Okay. Do I actually implement it in my life? So maybe after 4-5 months, we can revisit again and talk about this. And let's see kya hum log ne implement kiya actual life.
Like what you did if your son went away, how did you feel and how did you change that atmosphere?
Yeah,
that
few days.
Definitely.
I'm answerable to you all, right? Few days, let me see few months के बाद क्या होता है, कैसे मैं cope up करती हूँ और इतना जो मैंने ज्ञान बांटा उसमें से मैं क्या implement करती हूँ. So so happy seeing you all again after Diwali.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll meet next
Same
week.
to you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Have a nice time.
God bless. All the best.
Bye. Thank you.